Robert Farrell, also known as Rocket Racer, is affiliated with Avengers Academy, The Outlaws, and Wild Pack.
His abilities include gifted intellect, wears gauntlets armed with mini rockets, and rides a cybernetically controlled rocket-powered magnetic skateboard.
Robert Farrell, born in Brooklyn, New York, was the eldest of 7 children. He became responsible for his younger siblings when his mother, Emma Johnson Farrell, died.
Robert was a scientific prodigy, and when he realized he couldn't earn enough to support his family, he turned to a life of crime as the Rocket Racer.
He developed a superpowered skateboard which is propelled at great speed by small rockets and cybernetically controlled by a crude Walkman-like device.
He wore a weapon-equipped costume, including rocket-powered gloves, which give him the ability to hit an opponent with a rocket-powered punch.
Early in his career as a burglar, Rocket Racer encounters Spider-Man. Rocket Racer hires Tinkerer to redesign his skateboard after his first defeat by Spider-Man.
At one point, he is hired by Jackson Wheel to steal evidence that might incriminate him.
Robert uses the evidence to blackmail Jackson. Wheel wishes to commit suicide, but Robert stops him. Even though he mocks Wheel, calling him Big Wheel, this is enough for Jackson to hire the criminal, the Tinkerer, to create a literal big wheel to chase Robert around town.
Spider-Man assists and Jackson seemingly falls to his death in the Hudson River. Later, Rocket Racer was saved by Spider-Man from the bounty hunter.
Repeated defeats at the hands of Spider-Man and several brushes with the law, including a short jail sentence, convinces Robert to reform.
He goes through a high school equivalency course, and his extremely high marks gain him a scholarship to Empire State University.
This doesn't go well, as his first few days are full with combating the efforts of a hate group on campus.
Though assisted by Spider-Man and sometimes by other students who oppose the racism, Robert still struggles with his own rage during the entire ordeal.
Later, Robert attempted to prove Spider-Man innocent of a crime, and first encountered Silver Sable and the Outlaws.
He joined forces with Spider-Man to stop the white supremacist Skinhead.
He was hired as a freelance operative for Silver Sable International to prevent 2 youths from stealing the victims' weapons at the bar with no name, the site of the Scourge Massacre.
He was again hired by Sable to stop the Speed Demon.
He joined Spider-Man and the Outlaws against the Avengers and the Space Phantom.
He was again hired along with the Outlaws to retrieve a Simkarian nuclear device in England.
Rocket Racer finally formally joined the Outlaws to rescue the kidnapped daughter of a Canadian official.
As a registered hero, he reported to Camp Hammond for training.
Despite this, he needed money to support his comatose mother and prevent repossession of their house, so he was seen working for MODOK.
He appeared to have been tempted back into crime and reduced to the state of stuttering nervousness by the situation.
He turned out to have been working for S.H.I.E.L.D. all along, with a deal that they will give him the money he needs in return for the hypernova. He failed in this, and it's unknown what happened to his mother.
Rocket Racer is part of the new class of students when the Avengers Academy moves to the former headquarters of the West Coast Avengers.
Rocket Racer later leaves the Avengers Academy alongside with Machine Team to join child genius Jeremy Briggs.
Henry Sleeman was hired by an unnamed employer to befriend Robert Farrell and steal his Rocket Racer gear.
He did so, taking the name Troy and posing as Farrell's friend for months.
When Farrell finally showed him where he kept the gear, Troy tied him up and stole it, pursuing Spider-Man with the intention of fighting him, only to be defeated when restaurateur Harry Sloan opened a door at just the right time for Troy to run into the door and knock himself unconscious.
This imposter Rocket Racer briefly joined Tombstone's prison squad along with Big Ben and Hypno Hustler, where they provided Tombstone some protection at the time when he underwent a heart bypass.
Robert Farrell has a gifted intellect but no superhuman powers.
He wears gauntlets furnished with explosive mini rockets and utilizes a cybernetically controlled rocket-powered magnetic skateboard, which he designed and later redesigned by the Tinkerer